The 27th is National Ag Week, and of course that's something that's very important for Nebraska. Agriculture is our #1 industry here in the state. It accounts for about 1 in 4 jobs here in the state of Nebraska and about 20% of our overall state's economy. It's something that's incredibly important for us. And of course, one of the ways that we take advantage of what we all grow here is to feed the nation, and certainly through this pandemic, that's one of the things we've seen. That I think one of the reasons why we've had such a strong economy is that because we have agriculture as our #1 industry and we had to feed the nation, we saw that our farmers and ranchers worked very hard to be able to do that. And in fact, we also saw groups like the Dairy Association. In fact, I spoke at the Dairy Association's annual meeting last week, and the Dairy Association had their members get together and pitch in to buy refrigeration units for food banks so that they could broaden their offerings. And so that's just another way that agriculture gives back to the state, not only in creating lots of jobs for everybody here in the state, but being able to help out the food banks so they could broaden their offerings. And even with the pandemic, for example, dairy was up 3.6% in production last year. So we saw continued increases in production. And when it comes to agriculture, we export a lot of what we produce here to be able to help not only feed our nation, but feed the world. In fact, our soybean exports, again, last year, despite the pandemic, were up 38%. Corn exports were up 20%. And while beef exports were down a little bit, down about 4%, we still fared well enough to be able to replace Texas as the so we became the #2 beef exporting state in the country. And in fact, because of the innovation of our farmers and ranchers, we are now over 60% of all the beef exports that are going to the European Union, for example. So our farmers and ranchers really worked hard to be able to feed the nation, to be able to feed the world. I think even our wheat exports were up in 2020 over 2019. So we continue to see strong growth there. And that's all good news for our entire economy here in the state. Now, the other thing about agriculture is there's lots of great career opportunities. In fact, USDA has estimated that there's nearly 60,000 jobs that come open every year in agriculture. And this is not just production agriculture. This is all the fields that are related to agriculture. So you can also imagine the other types of careers, such as entomologists, or the people who study insects, soil agronomists, the person who's the diesel mechanic or the welder that is involved with agriculture, the grain elevator operator. I mean, just all the different types of career fields that are related to agriculture are available every year for our young people to take advantage of. So agriculture is an incredibly important thing. It's really, agriculture is the heart and soul of what we do here in Nebraska. And it really is important for our state's economy, for our young people, for creating jobs. And of course, our farmers and ranchers were the original conservationists because they wanted to pass along the family farm or ranch to the next generation. So they took care of their animals and the land to be able to do that. And in fact, every year we now, in cooperation with the Sand Foundation, do the Aldo Leopold Award to be able to recognize those Nebraska farmers and ranchers who are really being innovative with regard to how they take care of the environment. So we've got a lot of things that are important with regard to agriculture, and so I will be signing a proclamation declaring it Ag Week here in Nebraska. And to be able to help us talk a little bit more about that, we've got Director Steve Wellman, who's the Director of Agriculture here at the state of Nebraska, and also Mark McHargue, who's the President of the Nebraska Farm Bureau. I'm looking for the proper pen here. Hold on just a second. And I will sign our proclamation making it official that we have Ag Week here in Nebraska. So we are officially proclaimed. All right, with that, Director Wellman, will you come up and talk to us a little bit more about agriculture here in the state of Nebraska?
Well, thank you, Governor Ricketts. Happy National Ag Week, everybody. I happen to think every week is Ag Week, but it's certainly nice to have a week and a specific day, tomorrow, Ag Day, set aside to recognize agriculture and how it touches everybody's lives every day. So agriculture is the heart and soul of Nebraska, and our 45,700 farm and ranch families keep our state going year after year. The consistent response and productivity driven by our farmers and ranchers is a constant positive for me and thankfully for Nebraska. Our producers and the businesses that support them deliver a safe and sustainable supply of food, feed, and fuel for us and for consumers around the world. Agriculture continues to be Nebraska's largest economic driver and job creator. 1 out of 4 jobs is connected to agriculture, and we deliver $21 billion worth of gross receipts to our state each year. There's a strong connection between the value of our ag production and the local and state economy. When agriculture does well, our state does well. Nebraska is a top-tier producer of ag commodities in the U.S. We are number 1 in popcorn, white corn, and Great Northern bean production. Number 2 in ethanol, cattle on feed, all cattle and calves, and red meat production. I could go on, but I will stop with just one more ranking. Nebraska produces almost 6% of all ag commodities produced in the U.S. That places Nebraska number 3 amongst the 50 states, but we're number 1 on a per capita basis. Nebraska's producers are extremely productive, and we continue to find ways to grow more while using less resources. Ag's environmental benefits go even further when we consider biofuels such as biodiesel and ethanol. While using biodiesel reduces greenhouse gases by 80% when compared with petroleum diesel, and it burns cleaner, emitting 47% less particulate matter. Corn-based ethanol delivers environmental benefits when compared to gasoline, emitting 43% less greenhouse gases and reducing tailpipe emissions. Plus, it saves the consumers about 22 cents per gallon when they fill up their vehicles. Agriculture definitely touches everyone's lives every day through the economy, environment, and the food on our plates. Just want to briefly talk about what we're doing to celebrate Ag Week. We have several activities scheduled to help us celebrate. The governor and I and a few others will be making stops across Nebraska tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll be visiting ag-related businesses and our farmers and ranchers. The Nebraska Department of Agriculture Facebook page is featuring trivia with prizes that are donated by our farm and agriculture organizations. And the public also will have the opportunity to post pictures and show how they love Nebraska agriculture. Our Nebraska Agricultural Youth Council will be doing educational activities with students in Lincoln, elementary students in Lincoln. And so that pretty much seems like a busy week, and we're really looking forward to actually carrying out all those activities the last couple of years due to COVID and to the weather events from 2019. Our Ag Week activities were cut short. So we're really looking forward to being out this week, and Mark will be joining us for both those days. In closing, I want to mention one thing that's not really Ag Week related, but the Nebraska Department of Agriculture has a Nebraska Agricultural Youth Institute. This is our 50th year of having that institute, the longest running program in the U.S. Applications are open for those for that institute. It's open for incoming juniors and seniors in high school. I certainly want to encourage anybody, students that are interested in agriculture or just want to learn more about agriculture, to apply for that Youth Institute that will be held here in Lincoln on July 12th through the 16th. And again, the application deadline for that is March 15th. No, that's April 15th. I'll get it right. Application deadline is April 15th. The event is July 12th through the 16th. With that, Mark McHargue from the Farm Bureau.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is my privilege to be here on behalf of Nebraska farmers and ranchers as well. Thank you, Governor Ricketts. Thank you, Steve Wellman, for allowing me to be a part of this morning's proclamation and kicking off National Ag Week and Nebraska Ag Week. I farm in Central City, Nebraska. I'm a fourth generation operator there. I'm a farmer and pork producer. We grow corn, soybeans, popcorn, hogs, and we do that both organically and conventionally. So we have a lot of experience in the ag sector. But I also get the privilege of being president of Nebraska Farm Bureau. And the mission of Nebraska Farm Bureau is very simple. We're about the work of achieving a great quality of life and prosperity for Nebraska farmers and ranchers. Quality of life speaks to our rural Nebraska. Prosperity talks to just the economic side of farming and ranching. And we know, as there's going to be a theme this morning, we know that if agriculture does well in Nebraska, Nebraskans and Nebraska does well. National Ag Week is all about celebrating the good things that agriculture provides for all of us. There's a direct correlation. When we eat, typically most people know that agriculture is touching them. And for the most part, in Nebraska, we're largely has a large industry of ethanol business. A lot of us understand that when we fuel our car, a lot of times that's connected to agriculture. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is when you go and you buy clothes and you have the clothes on your back, you're connected to agriculture. The soap near your sink comes from ag products. The paint on your wall comes from ag products. Medicine in your cabinet comes from ag products. All these things are basic necessities that all of us get touched by in agriculture. As a pork producer, there's this little things that a lot of people don't know, but do you know that there's 185 consumer products that come out of one pig? That's different things that come out of pig than bacon. We all like bacon. Ham, Easter's coming up. But 185 other products that come out of a pig that's consumer related. Well, National Ag Week is also time to look at our progress and really to look forward. When it comes to agriculture, I can tell you there is an incredible story. In 1960, when my father started farming in Merritt County, the average farmer, and I would say we would fit in that category, would feed 46 people. On that same home farm that I get to farm, in 2021, we feed 166 people coming off the same set of acres. That's what technology and innovation has done for agriculture in Nebraska and around the country. That story is consistent, whether you're talking about row crops or you're talking about livestock farming, and it comes to as we think about how we've used our natural resources. Again, an incredible story. Well, when I look to the future, we know that, again, when it comes to farmers and ranchers, that all does, agriculture starts on the farms and ranchers, but it's more than just that. Director Wellman talked about the fact that there was a lot of people involved in agriculture. If you're a young person listening today, I want to appeal to you that there is a place for you in agriculture. It doesn't matter your background. There is a bright future in agriculture, and we need all kinds of skill sets to make ag in Nebraska work. So things like computer science, biotechnology, engineering, robotics, food science, foreign language as we work to move our products into the international market, and the list goes on and on. I want to ask you, Nebraskans, to help us celebrate National Ag Week and Nebraska Ag Week. I also want to thank our partners all across Nebraska that not only are involved in agriculture, but are involved in processing, value-added, manufacturers, the grocery stores that take our product in and sell them to the end user. Again, I want to thank Governor Ricketts for this opportunity to be here, and let's all celebrate National Ag Week this week. Thank you.